Are you ready to make a genuine, intentional change? Welcome to the Magic is Messy podcast. Yay! Here goes the Kermit art. I love the Kermit. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, sisters and misters, witches and wizards, 12 boys, girls, the freaks, the geeks, the mega rad peeps out there in airwave land. Welcome to the Magic is Messy podcast. If it's your first time here, mega welcome. High fives, good vibes, right to your face piece. High five to the face. Face piece. Sometimes we need a high five to the face.
With a chair.
No. Maybe some. No. But there's actually a coffee company. My girlfriend owns River Road Coffee out of Wisconsin. It is a coffee trailer, and she has a drink called a high five to the face.
Stop.
Yeah, it's like good vibes right to your dome.
Oh, I like that.
So yeah, high fives.
High fives.
So if you're just joining us, thank you so much. Reach out and tell us where you're from, who you are, where'd you find us, and all that jazz.
Who are we?
We Chickadee. Yeah. My name is Kitty D.
And I am Ace on the place, on the base.
Ace is the place with the headphone.
I'm trying to create my own identity.
You're creating your tagline.
Ace for the face. I'm a face ace. I don't know. Anyway,
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Ace Finch. No. We'll figure it out. Ace. My name is Kitty D. This is Ace across from me. Welcome to these airwaves. Thanks for sharing them with us, ladies and gents. We appreciate you being here. The Magic is Messy podcast is all about making a genuine, intentional change.
That's right.
And I'm just going to dive right into it.
Do it.
Right into it. The basis of making a genuine intentional change foundationally that I feel I was not necessarily taught, or I don't practice it enough. So doing the notes, doing the notes for this episode was such a great, like a 101. Like start here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yeah.
And the start of take what you need, the rest you can leave, of every practice can revolve around. You get to allow it to revolve around energetic hygiene.
Let's talk about it.
And I remember when you first brought this up to me, I was like, energetic hygiene, like you mean like protection magic? Mm-hmm. So of course I go in and I'm starting looking and what's the difference between energetic hygiene and protection? Thinking of it as energetic hygiene are the little things you do every single day to clean and clear and close off to complete the loops of energy that you are allowing in your life, right? And it made me think of, how many times do we speak to people and allow them to just vent about whatever it is that they're going on. And then you hang up the phone and you actually feel worse than when you got on the phone. Right? I've talked about shit sharks. This podcast before. I don't know if you've ever heard that part. But a shit shark, the acronym stands for self-hating inner talk.
Love that.
So when you have someone who is full of self-hating inner talk and just wants to misery loves company people around them, they are the dun 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 dun, and they come and swim around you and they sprinkle shit all over you. And then when they leave, you're like why do I feel like shit?
Yeah.
Because you have their projections, you have their energy, you have their lower frequencies mingling with your energetic vibration.
That's amazing.
And if we don't, with intention, clear that shit or say, I don't want it anymore, or literally wash it off, go wash your hands, go brush your teeth, go take a big deep breath, go grounding and earthing, go stand under the moonlight,
go dance,
go do something with, go smoke cleanse, right? Doing something with intention to close that loop and complete that energetic cycle brings you back to a space of regularity, brings you back to a baseline or a neutrality. Yeah. Because we as energetic beings, one more thing and then you can fly on a broomstick. We as energetic beings, it is our own responsibility to take accountability for our energy.
Right.
And if you're feeling heavy, if you're feeling grief, if you're feeling all of the things that we as a potential collective are feeling right now more than ever, energetic hygiene is more important than potentially it ever has been before for our generations and the generations to come.
Yes.
So what do you know as energetic hygiene?
Well, it's interesting because I'm a service provider. I own my own hair studio and I do hair all day long, and I am regarded amongst my clients as somewhat of a hair therapist, right? A therapist with hair doing capabilities, and we sit and talk, and people, here I am touching their crown chakra, manipulating energy, trying to help them relax, trying to make them feel good, and they're dumping the day's shit on me. And even though that's part of my job, it's not, there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with people like processing their stuff with you. That's wonderful.
Processing either.
Or protesting, yes, sorry. People processing their junk with you, whether you're a therapist or a nurse or a teacher or a hairdresser or whatever, a service provider of any kind. That's our job to
create space.
Create space for people. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's really important that we recognize that there's nothing wrong with that. At the same time, it's how do we clean up the mess afterwards? How do we care for ourselves after the case? Because I love listening to my clients and they're processing the things that they're working on, the things they're thinking about, and the things that they want for their lives and all that. I love doing that. And I do feel heavier at the end of the day. I do feel, that my energy is drained more at the end of the day. And so being able to just do tiny little things for myself. Like, for example, as a hairstylist, I sweep the hair. Mm-hmm. And that is actually, even though it's also like by law, I have to do that in between clients. It's also like, all I do is I naturally put that intention into my broom, and I'm sweeping away these person's problems. I'm putting it away because they're not mine anymore. I don't want to be walking around on these people's problems all day. So this person has processed their stuff. They've left all of this with me, right? And I'm going to sweep it in and I'm going to go throw it away. And it's been a game changer.
The sweeping of energy started in folk tradition.
Yeah.
Like, energetic hygiene, because I kind of want to, it's not just something that's brand new. It's not spiritual. Mm-hmm. It used to be a common way of life.
Yes.
In Greece, in India, in China, in Egypt, in, so many of these, in indigenous cultures. And of course, the folk cultures and all of these places, like they knew that they had an energetic body that deserved to be taken care of. And they did it naturally because they were connecting with nature. Right? They did it because they knew that an overabundance of energies and frequencies that aren't yours, things that are very heavy, whether it be a birth or a death or, the seasons changing or whatever it may be, they would clear their energy because they knew that it led to stress, led to sickness, led to dis-ease.
Weakness.
So it wasn't necessarily it wasn't a protection thing.
No.
Where I feel like we as witches, we as a collective, we as, now us as a people have been told that, protection magic is very fear-based. It is based in something is wrong, so you have to do something about it. Blocking, shielding, bracing for what the fuck is coming.
Yeah.
Where this is more of a daily way to keep your baseline, because it wasn't about protection. It was more about well versus unwell.
Correct.
And that's very simple when you kind of, I don't want to say dumb it down, but when you bring it down to that foundation of, are you well or are you unwell? And it is your responsibility to take care of your energy to create a space to be well.
I remember you just gave an analogy of a house.
Yes.
Is that do you want to share that now?
Absolutely. And we were talking about practitioners who do this, right? Like, I'm a Reiki master, and we are actually having a guest, one of the very first guests that we're having on this What the Fuck series of our podcast. And she is a biotuner. She works with frequencies, vibrations.
Acupuncture.
It's funny. I gave her a call, and I'm going to do my very first biotuning. I've never been tuned. I used to do it. I've never had it done to me.
Oh.
So I'm going to get my biotuning on, if you will. And my dog is going crazy in the background right now.
She's literally like the Tasmanian devil right now.
She's grabbing things and whipping them around.
She wants our attention.
We got a lot of energy going on here.
We do.
But Rachel is her name.
Yep.
Rachel, I reached out to her and she's like, "Oh, I'm a fan."
Yeah.
And it was kind of a moment where I was like, "I've never talked to you before. How do you know who I am?" Right? And I
you
think
have a podcast.
I understand. and I was like, "Gosh, that was a uncomfortable, awesome, excitement feeling, if that makes sense." But we're having her on, and
next
the way
week.
that
next time,
the next What the Fuck episode after New Moon in Aquarius, we'll get to that one. Energetic Hygiene Part 2.
Yeah.
Be-do. And what I was kind of looking at is if you have a home, if your body is your home, right? And you let other people's shit and other people's energy and all of a sudden you have it all piled around you like a fucking hoarder.
Right.
Think of a hoarder house where there's just shit everywhere. Literal shit, figurative shit, whatever kind of shit you're talking about. It's everywhere.
Right.
How overwhelming would it be for you to look at that hoarder
situation
shit and be like, well, I'm going to start cleaning.
Like,
how difficult would that be?
Because all of the stuff that's lingering in that space, right, is dragging your energy down.
Absolutely.
So you like physically can't do it.
Yes.
You can't go clean the house.
And you start getting depressed and your vibration is as low as the environment that you allow yourself to live within.
Yes.
Whereas a practitioner or a tuner, someone who works with frequency and vibrations, they can bring you back to that baseline.
Yes.
Kind of we were talking about a phone, right? Like, yes, your body is your home, but imagine your body as a phone, or you are as a phone. How many of us allow apps to run in the background all day
I think I have
long?
like 300 screens open right now.
Girl, holla. Same.
Hello,
same.
Human.
Fuck. Same.
Yeah.
Hello, human. Exactly. and you think about all of the things you allow to run in the background. And how often do you go into an app and you're like, all right, I'm going to scroll. I'm going to with intention scroll. And then with intention, I'm going to close the app and say, I'm done with that for the day. Or do you just press the button and put it down and go and do something else? And that energy is still going.
Slowly pulling the energy.
Drip. How many drips are we allowing during the day?
Yes.
Right?
I was just thinking about my own home, and I was even just talking to my husband about this. We have 3 teenagers. I'm in a band. I run a business. We're doing podcasts. I'm a very active person. I'm very grateful for my very full life and lots of things I get to do. And my house is probably in need of some deep cleaning, and I'm busy. That's like the last thing. So like we pick up all the shit off the floor that we don't trip over. We wipe off counters. We do the basic things, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But to be honest, if we could, I think in the 7 years I've lived in my house, I don't know if to be honest, I don't know that I've ever run my finger on a baseboard, to be honest.
Okay. All right.
And so now in retrospect, I'm thinking about my own relationship with energy, and I'm thinking about how to the outside, my house looks good. It's fine. Maybe a little outdated, probably need to paint the cabinets, that kind of thing. But otherwise, when I think about the corners, the edges, the dust that builds up in places I'm not looking really.
Sure.
Then I'm like, oh my gosh, I can put my finger and I can write my damn name in some of my shelves that are up too high for me to see. So then to be able to recognize that's my own relationship with energy. Like I keep it looking good enough for when people come over or when, whatever, then people can come into my energy and that's like, it's good enough. But really, and I'm not trying to say that you need to like disinfect your house from like, ceiling, from roof to ceiling. But I'm saying, because I know that that's a thing that people do too. But on the flip side of hoarding, there can be like excessive cleaning. But I'm just saying, like, I'm recognizing in my own home how I could probably pick a room and just like energetically with intention do the dust, clean off the chandelier, do all the things that I just don't usually do.
Sure.
Because I'm too busy, And so I think in concept, it's the same kind of idea. It's like, are you doing enough energetic hygiene, or are you doing enough to make it look like you're okay? Or are you really not? Are you really okay? Or are you just hiding all those dirty corners?
Well, and that's what I also want to mention is that energetic hygiene, the little daily rituals, they're small, they're frequent, they're imperfect. They embody our own energy, and they can be done in secret, by the way. This isn't some crazy ass big fucking ritual. And I think that's what we've been sold. And that's the misremembrance of what energetic hygiene, it turned into protection magic because everything's coming at you, rah, rah, rah. When in actuality, if you were to clean one part of your house every single day just to maintain a neutral baseline, would that feel better to your energy? Right? And I want to differentiate between protection magic because yes, we need that too.
Yes.
We deserve protection magic when we're about to start a big ritual or we're about to start a coven circle. Like I always call them protection. We call them protection when we're about to do our airwaves here.
Yeah, or before we go on stage or before we start our day at work or to be able to create a ritual around that protection.
But the difference between energetic hygiene, which is the small things like brushing our teeth, changing our clothes,
Yep.
washing our hands,
Taking
taking
our
a shower,
shower.
sweeping outward, those types of things, cleaning the corners are a lot different than locking the door because someone's coming to get you,
Right.
or putting up a fence because we
Don't want
are
anyone to get
feeling
past
scared,
that.
right? Those are the differences.
Right.
So protection magic is used in bigger arenas,
Yes.
so to speak,
Yep.
where our own energy, I don't want to call it a small arena because it's extremely important, and they're the small things we do.
Smaller actions.
Right?
Yeah.
And
smaller intentional actions.
very much so. And it's almost like a tiny reset.
Yes.
Because how many of us, like I said, how many of us with intention close the app down? Or how many of us shake our fingers or shake around or move our bodies when we get out of a very intense conversation with somebody? Or how many of us just take a big deep breath before we're about to make a money decision or a big decision in our, or how many of us before we go into you and I are both performers.
Yep.
Do you do any energetic hygiene before you're about to step on stage?
Aside from the ritual of me getting prepared, like my physical person, putting on makeup, getting on the costumes, putting on my bracelets, aside from those things, which I do put some intention in, but I don't know that I would say that I don't necessarily sit down and have like a whole seance. Don't move my red candles, guys. Set up your drums, but don't bother my red candle, arena grid that I've created on the floor here.
Yep. Don't fuck with my crystal grid, drummer. Don't do it.
Exactly. What did I say? What did I say? Okay, now I'm starting to project my band drama.
Understood. Band drama.
But in terms of, now that you're asking me that question, I'm thinking about how I always wait to put my lipstick on last because I always feel like this is the power that's coming out of my mouth. You know what I mean?
Love it.
So some of those things, yes, I would say.
And those
I
are
do.
your own private secret.
Yes.
Secret.
Sneaky.
Sneaky.
I wrote on my list that energetic hygiene is as we're talking about it, is sneaky, human, and woven into real life.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yes. And actually, that's what it is. It's small little rituals that we get to do to ourselves, with ourselves, around our own energy, to take responsibility and accountability for the vibration that we are feeling and emitting.
That's right.
Right? Because it's a two-way street here.
Yep.
Because you take on energy and you also give energy.
Yep.
So what is the energy you're giving? What is the energy you're receiving? And how do you close these loops? And how do you, with intention, say, I ain't gonna fuck with that no more.
No, I'm all done.
Or I'm done with that for the day.
I'm
or
putting
my
it down
work day is
today.
done. Or
Yeah.
right, like I was asking you, do you step out of the door and say, I'm on? Every time you're on, I want you in quotes, every time you're on.
Okay.
That is a situation in which we also have to, with intention, turn it off.
That's right.
Right, like before I go on stage, I'll take some of my smoke cleansing incense and I will go around each of our microphones 3 times.
Oh.
Yeah, and my band's like, oh, that smells so good, and they know what Kitty's doing when Kitty does that.
Okay.
They get it. They understand that I'm creating the safe space for us to be seen but not consumed.
Oh my gosh, I have to write this down. That's amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
And that's what energetic hygiene does. It gives you space to be compassionate and present without people being consumed, but without people consuming you.
Yes.
It gives you power without being exhausted. And it allows you, I just got the biggest deja vu right now. Wow. We are in the right place, right time.
Well, I was going to say, that's like
Totally.
You're stepping out of the matrix when you say that shit.
Oh man.
You know?
We are being open and sovereign at the same time. And that's what energetic hygiene, it's the daily rituals to show self-respect to your own energy.
That's right.
It is the cleaning, the clearing, the closing, and the completion of energetic loops that you have maybe not even agreed to open. You haven't given them permission to be open, but goddess damn it, you are the one who has the power to close them.
Right.
And you can do this in the small ways. Like I said, sweeping, changing your clothes after your work day.
Yeah.
How many of us come home and take off our work clothes and put on our comfiest sweaties? That is an energetic hygiene ritual.
I love that.
Right? When you brush your teeth in the morning, you are cleaning, you are clearing.
Yep.
And if you're already doing it, that's what magic is. Magic is taking what you already do and putting intention into it to make the change in your energy, which then ripples out and changes your reality.
Love that. That's a wrap on this episode. Congratulations.
All right, bye, everybody. See you later. Bye. All right. Love it.
I'm just kidding.
So, and I want to bring it back to self-respect too, because we just got out of the full moon Leo. We're still simmering in the full moon Leo vibes. Rawr. And it was all about self-worth and self-trust and self-respect. And the way that you can immediately, baby, sister, mister, witch, wizard, immediately start showing your self-respect and that you know your energy is divine and priceless and you are worthy is by creating a stronger energetic hygiene practice.
Wow. Okay.
Like I said, when you are right after social interactions or anytime you have to be on when you're at a job, or like you said, when you are have a bunch of people in your chair, when you are being emotionally activated, when you are transitioning your day, when you are making big decisions, or anytime you feel off or heavy, which might be a lot lately, after you're online.
Yep.
Like how many vibrations do you consume while you're online?
Yep. I actually have was going to ask you about what do you think are some symptoms of the need for energetic hygiene? And
also if you have symptoms of that, what would be the effect of beginning and or strengthening your energetic hygiene practice?
Yep.
So if you have physical tension, like it can be physical, emotional, it can be spiritual, you can have a whole bunch of symptoms.
Yes.
But let's say you have a bunch of tension in your jaw, in your shoulders, you're super fatigued all the fucking time. Why am I tired all the fucking time?
Yep.
Why do I feel emotionally drained? Why do I just want to cry? I just want to cry.
Yep.
For no reason.
And you might,
you're irritable.
Yes, and you might be tapping into that and saying, like, what is wrong with me? What the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
You know, like, why am I falling apart? We had written that list last time we talked about it, and so I was just gonna.
Right, like, and I'm going to read from this list, symptoms of need for energetic cleanup. If you feel distracted, if you're always foggy mentally, if you have that fucking mean girl. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that mean girl.
Have you ever named your mean girl?
I mean, like probably Felicia back in the day. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
But no, I should probably. She doesn't deserve a name. I call her that bitch. That's what I call her.
Well, I think that I'm 100% that bitch. I feel like that's kind of a positive thing.
Oh,
now,
okay. Maybe don't be so nice to her then.
So I actually named mine. I'm Kitty.
Okay.
And she's Catty. She's a catty, mean, rude, like, ugh.
Well, I think the world has Karen, right?
Well, yes.
You know, but Matt,
Karens,
I mean,
Chads.
you know, yeah, Karen, Chad, Kevin, Brenda, whatever. Like for some reason, it's always.
But I feel badly. Like my grandma's name is Karen.
I know. It's
so I feel
sad.
bad, and I'm like, I'm so sorry that your name got dragged through the mud. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I call her Catty.
I like Catty.
But when Catty comes out to play, a lot more than usual because I'm only human, right? And we all have our things, our ting-tings. When you start to have mood swings, when you start to feel as though you are just off.
Yep.
You're fucking off for no reason other than think about your battery draining.
Yep.
Your phone turns off.
Yep.
When it's done.
Yep.
And what I feel like is when you are off and irritable, your body's trying to tell you, I'm fucking done. I'm done. Do something. Please recharge me in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
Do something for us, please. And as much as I love when people help other people, you were talking to me about a client who was like, well, I've got to make this for the homeless and I got to drop off this and I got to do this and I got to, and you're like, wait a minute, can you just reschedule all that and go into the woods?
Yeah.
Like, tell me about that person. Cause I feel like a lot of us are in that little pod of what she was feeling. Like, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. And you feel like helping other people is going to feel good to you, but it's that quickly.
Yep. And I think there's so many of us who are right now who are really looking out external at our world and seeing what's happening out in the world. It's really hard not to open your phone or turn on the news and see what needs to be done, right? And we all know that if we band together, we can create some very big change. If we even do very small things ourselves to give to that energy, the boomerangs like you talk about,
100%.
How do we give that? But what if you feel social, emotional, energy hangover? I had this client that came in who was just absolutely exhausted. And she just said, she asked, I really need to have a quiet appointment today, and so that is a signal to me that like we're not going to talk a bunch, we're not going to carry on, we're not going to catch up today. You know, she just needs to be quiet and be, you know. And she was upset. She cried the whole time, you know. And I didn't ask her why or anything because I knew she was, you know. So I said to her, so as I was sitting there and I was doing her hair, because we weren't talking, I had the opportunity to kind of hear some spiritual guidance around me about her, and the message that I got about her was that she needed to reset. She needed to go into the woods. This client enjoys going into the woods in her spare time when she's not working. She likes to bird watch and camp and hike through the woods and all of that. And I said, your spirit guides are telling me that you need some to clock some woods time, and that's going to help neutralize. And she said, I know, but tomorrow I'm going to get together with some friends and we're going to make food for the you know, people, the first responders, and we're going to make people, you know, for the shelters, and we're going to do things. We want to be part of the forward motion of healing the city, you know. And I said, well, okay, but also though, can you, like, you can't share your power when you have no internal
100%.
Like if you're on one bar.
If your phone is dead, you can't do anything until you recharge it.
That's right.
But the sad state of affairs in that is we are told that the more you do, the more valuable you are.
And may I say also, in this current climate, as it sits here in Minneapolis, if you're not doing enough, then shame on you.
Shame. Ooh.
And that I think is a very slippery slope, because not everybody is called to do all the things. Not everybody is called to protest. Not everybody is called to go out. Not everybody is called to make food for the day. Sometimes it's just explaining to your kids what's happening. That's the rebellion.
And sometimes taking of yourself in ways you never have before is the beginning of the rebellion.
Yeah.
So you can move forward in some way, shape, or form.
Right. Because you know that even though she was the leader of the rebellion, Princess Leia still had time to do her fucking hair, dude.
Oh, man. And her hair was dope. Space buns, what?
It takes time to put on some space buns.
Girl, and they
you can't lead a rebellion without proper space buns, is all I'm saying. You need 2 cinnamon roll buns right above your ears.
And not only that, like you said, one time you braid intentions into your braids, right? Like, what were the intentions that Leia laced into her braids?
Oh, dude.
Power, bitches, power.
Power. Yes, and her ears were very warm. That's nice, too.
Well, good for her. Yeah, like little earmuffs. But one thing I do want to say about energetic hygiene and the way that it is different than protection, right? The protection is more like it's not an emergency. We're not working with emergencies here. Right now, we need to be aware. Awareness equals change.
That's exactly right.
So if you are aware that you're feeling drained and off and mentally distracted and you're just feeling drained and you're just have this dis-ease, you feel unwell.
Yep.
It could be more than likely that you need a little bit of self-love, self-respect, and some energetic hygiene.
Yep. I had wrote down 3 questions that we talked about last week.
Tell me more.
That says, these are some good questions you can ask yourself on self-check-in. Okay. Now I know you're going to be, there's a quiz also to find out, and we're going to be sharing that in whatever way that looks like. But so I'm excited about hearing more about that. But these are just some 3 quick self-check-ins that maybe even right now as you're listening you can hear. Number 1 was, do I feel like me, or do I feel like an old borrowed version? And that really hit my soul, because how many times am I operating outside of the usual or the way it's always been? Like, this is what I do. This is where I set my purse. This is where I go.
Right.
Like, and we go through those old versions. Or like, wait a second, I don't set my purse here anymore. I don't fucking have a purse anymore, or whatever, you know? And to be able to go back and say, do I feel truly like me, or is this an old shell that I'm walking in right now? So that would be a good self-in question, because we pick up all those old things in order to get through the hard stuff, right? And so if we can go, okay, no, this is the old version of me. Number 2, it says, am I still holding yesterday, someone else's shit, or digital residue? So am I still holding yesterday? So are you still thinking about the thing that happened yesterday? You can't let it go. That's an indicator right there, right? Are you thinking about somebody else's problems? You know? Yes, absolutely.
The shit shark came and sprinkled all over you, and you're like, how can I find a solution? Because a lot of humans are, and I've spoken with my fiance about this. He's like, I'm a fixer. I want to find a solution. If something's wrong with you, I want to fix it.
I'm the same way.
When sometimes I just need you to listen.
That's right.
That's right. And you know, I think opening conversations, when you intentionally open a conversation with, would you like me to help you with this, or do you just want me to listen? And then you close it off and say, I'm done listening, or I thank you, thank you for allowing me to be a conduit of sacred space for this person to have a container to feel comfortable in. And I'm closing off that container because it is no longer mine to carry forward.
Yeah. Put a lid on the Tupperware.
You don't even have to say these on, put a lid on the Tupperware.
Put that shit in the fridge.
And let it rot for all I care. As long as there's a lid on it. Is this green?
It's contained. It's fine.
But no, the closing of those loops, I don't think we have been taught that, or if we have been taught that, it hasn't been made to be as important as it actually truly is. Yeah. And energetic hygiene is not a way to avoid.
No.
It's not a way to dissociate. It is not a way to bypass accountability. It's not a way to escape conflict. It is a way to set your energy to a point where it is neutral and it is baseline and you have control over it.
Yeah.
To therefore go into conflict or go into the hard things and the things that, turn you off and scare you and bring you to these places of maybe anxiety or what have you, and be in a space where you are set up and strong enough to bring yourself back from that.
That's
to your baseline.
One of the other things it said is, did I leave the house carrying anything I didn't earn? Did I leave the house carrying anything I didn't earn? So what does that mean to you exactly, would you say? Did I leave the house carrying anything I didn't earn? So do we say earn in terms of like you're carrying other people's problems, you're carrying other people's shit?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Am I leaving the house carrying something that I know isn't mine?
Right.
And I don't know if earn is the right word.
Okay.
I thought
it was an interesting concept. That's what came up when we were studying this last week. But I thought it was an interesting concept when I said earn, because earn could mean what? It could mean it could mean negative or positive.
Well,
really.
when I feel earn, take what you need, the rest you can leave. It's something that I intentionally did, and it belongs to me, and I deserve it because I worked my ass off for it.
There you go. So did I leave the house carrying anything that doesn't fall under that umbrella?
Yeah, I didn't work my ass off for this, and it's not something that I want to bring forward with me. But I think, how many of us check in like that on a daily basis?
Yeah.
Not just daily, but
at all.
Every do a self check-in every, hour. Yeah. Set an alarm every hour. Be like, check it before you wreck it.
That's right.
Check it.
Am I being my old borrowed version of myself? Am I holding on to yesterday? Digital residue is interesting. How many of us leave the house thinking about what the thing that we saw on YouTube or the thing that we saw on TikTok when we were falling asleep last night?
Absolutely.
That's digital residue, my friend.
Well, also, we should probably, as a collective, begin to think about what thoughts are we allowing right before we go to bed, where our subconscious is at its most open.
Girl, my dreams would probably calm the way the hell down if I could do that.
And what's stopping you from doing that? What's the addiction? I mean, obviously, addiction. 100%. That's all we have to say. I just need to numb.
Yep.
But if we feel like we need to numb, it's probably because our energetic hygiene is completely out of whack.
Yep. Exactly.
And our baseline is non-existent.
Yeah. Or we're processing something huge we don't want to deal with.
So we're going into battle, so to speak, right? And this is something that you and I kind of visually came up with too, is the energetic hygiene versus protection. Your energetic hygiene is your cleanliness of your own energy. And then the protection is armor. Imagine putting armor on a body that has never taken a shower before. Ew. Or is dirty and nasty and full of cuts and full of blood and bruises, and you're just putting you're putting this Band-Aid on it thinking that it's gonna be fine and okay.
But really, you're just sealing in the funk.
You're sealing in the funk. How funky is your
chicken?
Yeah. How loose is your goose, right? My goose is bring it on.
My goose is totally loose.
And when I think of energetic hygiene as well, we deserve to circulate our energy. The reason we may be feeling off or distracted, we're feeling less focused, we can't make decisions, we're super fucking irritable, we can't sleep, we can't eat, whatever it may be, it's because our energy is super stagnant and has not moved.
Yep, that's right.
So energetic hygiene and these practices are a way to circulate that energy. And I want you to think about a shitty puddle and a clean moving river.
Okay.
A flowing river. You want energy that is a clean flowing river.
Yes.
And a lot of us are just simmering in these puddles
funky
of
little funk.
Puddles.
Yeah.
Funk puds. Whatever that may be, right? Like
Funk puddles.
Yeah, funk puddles.
That's a good band
That's
name.
a good band name too. Kerosene cat suit.
That's
Funk puddle. We've got a list of band names going on right now.
I feel like Funk Puddles would be an album name, though.
That's cute. That's cute. I like it. Who wants to start a band with us, y'all? We're ready. We're ready.
We're going to call it Funk Puddles, but we're actually going to be an EDM band. So,
but the circulation and going back to, and then we'll get into how, right? Like, I know what I'm feeling. And if any of these have pinged you, then it's probably a good idea to keep listening to find out how do I start to sneaky, sly, sexy, secret, right? Because this is your own practice.
Right.
This is what a practice really is. You don't need to pull anyone else into this practice but yourself and your own energy, because it is priceless and precious.
That's right.
So it's our responsibility to regulate. Mount up. There was
Mount
a
up,
clear black
regulators.
man, a clear black moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume.
There we go.
Yeah, right.
That was the first song of the
Just hit
hour.
the east side of the LBC on the mission trying to find Mrs. Kitty D. Anyway, all right. So I may have sang that.
You did.
I may
With
have,
the
and by
KD
may
part?
have, I mean yes, I did. Yes, I motherfucking did.
I'm like, that came out real easy. Wow.
But the practice of creating your own environment and getting into your own regulatory rhythm, that's the action that we're taking forward. Why? Because you get to, because you deserve to, and it's because these practices are such a bold way of showing yourself respect.
And can I just say that when I've used some of these practices, like for example, and I don't know if you have this one on the list, but right before we started this podcast, both Kitty and I kind of had. Okay, we both of us kind of came in with a funk puddle. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was looking at the Frankenstein files.
Yeah,
not good.
Don't
not
look
good.
at
Stop doing that. PSA. When you do look at things that are so horrific in that way,
yeah,
and you keep feeding them to your subconscious, they become regular. They don't become bad anymore. They become normal.
Yeah, that's
so
tough.
I, with love, want to challenge
Shout
all
out
of
to
you
everybody.
listeners. Shout it out loud. Please be very conscious, but with what you are feeding your brain.
Yeah.
Feed your head.
Feed your head.
Exactly. See, we're feeding our head things, and the more we see the bad, the more we find that to be normal.
Yeah.
Don't allow the badness to become normal, because it is up to you to regulate that.
You know what's really interesting? I posted on a meme on social media last week that in response to all of the horrible things that are happening in the city and around the country, really, and around the world, it said something like, I wanted to detox. Or what did it say? It said something like, I turned off the news and turned on a serial killer documentary to relax. Yes. And I was like, it is such a fascinating piece of humanity to me that as a general rule, middle-aged women, or maybe all women, are, I don't know, it seems like women mostly, who are so drawn to serial killer documentaries. True crime is such a thing. And why are we drawn to that? And I'm just fascinated. We don't have to answer that question today, but I'm just saying I'm fascinated by that, because to me, watching someone catch a killer over a decade's worth of time is so satisfying, and it's a loop closer for me.
Bingo, bango,
but
jingo, jango.
I'm also hearing about how they murdered terrible things, and all this thing happened. And did you hear he wrote that on the wall with the person's blood, and like all these horrible things?
Yeah.
You know, to get to the point of the closure, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Make no mistake, I've watched my share of unsolved mysteries. There ain't no closure there.
God, that show when I was young, that's what my grandma would watch with me before I went to bed. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Grandma, what is this?
What is this?
We're watching Unsolved Mysteries, and I'm like, teeth
I know.
chattering in the corner of the bedroom.
Even just that theme song to this day is like,
gosh. Oh my God damn it. Anyway,
why?
Okay.
So anyway, back to Side Bay. So as we were gearing up for this episode today, we were so excited because we had done all of our work kind of ahead of time, and we were so excited about this, and we both came in a funk puddle, and because it's Monday and it's the thing and all of that. And so in order, I said, I know what we need. We said, I know what we need to do. We turned on the tunes. We put on some sage. We danced around in the car. She showed me how to twerk. Can I just tell you, I think that think what you want, but twerking opens up hip opening. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's a hip opener.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a lower back. That's a sacral exercise.
Yeah.
And fine, don't you
It's
don't
a
have to
grounding
do it on,
exercise.
It is a grounding exercise. And
Put you back in your body.
And it opens up all kinds of sacral shit, and it's just wonderful. So twerking can be energetic hygiene.
And also, so I'm going to bring it back to the indigenous cultures before they were suppressed, and when organized religion came in, that's when a lot of these practices that used to just be maintenance, like they weren't spiritual, they were survival mechanisms. They were, like I said, they were made into the witch hunt stuff. It's all about fear and it's about ritual and you're doing something wrong. But the water, submersing yourself underwater, submerging yourself underwater. And the fire, the bonfires, the smoke cleansing, the movement, the shaking, the drums, right? All of that stuff. Frequencies. Those were the daily maintenance baseline rituals that people did as a community or did on their own. Yeah. Because they knew that their system was not regulated.
Like it wasn't.
And they could feel it. But they didn't have anything. They didn't have the shit that we have now to numb themselves out on.
Totally. I was going to say, these are people who...
I'm not regulated. Scroll.
Did you know, these are facts I'm going to pull out of my ass.
Go.
Okay, these are ass facts.
You got a nice ass. Ass facts.
These are ass facts, okay? There's some kind of number. It was like, I read someplace, and this was back in the early 2000s, that we consume more trauma, information, whatever, than like a person in the days of the Pony Express ever. We experience more of that shit in an hour than people experienced in their entire lives.
I do not doubt that.
The human body is not meant to absorb what we absorb these days. And it is so hard not to, because everything we do is connected to another thing that is bent on taking our energy and our focus and our attention and our life force. And so that's why back in those days, right? They shake a tail feather. They waved some.
They did drum circles.
They did all the things back in the day. And that was just so they could deal with the fact that, like, oh man, I saw a super scary grasshopper today. I got to shake that out.
I got to shake it off.
No, okay, make no mistake. It was survival. Like, did we eat today? Oh, let's dance about it. Like, I understand. Yes. It wasn't about just scary grasshoppers.
Or, you think, the regulation, like, hey, we're going through a drought, like the rain dancing,
right?
The intentional sending boomerangs out with gratitude and bringing it back to yourself. Like, that is the regulation. And we as a humanity are so dysregulated in these moments. Yep. And like you said, there are things coming at us every single day. Yep. Knives being thrown at our back and all of these things that are dripping our life force drip by drip by drip. And we, unfortunately, when we're not practicing energetic hygiene or we're not practicing these small little intentional rituals, like I said, they don't have to be elaborate. They just have to be embodied.
Yes.
They just have to be intentional. And when we do that, we give ourselves permission to regulate ourselves.
I love it.
That's the responsibility that we get to carry forward.
Let's get to the healing. I'm excited.
And I had forgotten a lot about these. And I've said them in my podcast before, like go in the shower and clean and clear down the drain. Water, take from me all the negative energy, make it go right down the drain, never to be seen again. Yep. I started doing that again.
Good for you.
And it feels fucking better.
Does it really?
Or I'll take a big deep breath and put my hand on my heart.
That's a beautiful one. That's a way to get down into your body quick.
Just to be like, I'm here, I feel my heartbeat, and getting back to my own heartbeat. Like, that is regulating as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's letting the shower rinse the day off your shoulders and washing your hands after a really intense conversation, or the changing the clothes. So some sneaky self-care style energetic healing practices.
I like it.
Should we dive right into those?
Let's dive into those.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we dive into how the fuck do I start to bring energetic hygiene into my everyday life?
I'm ready.
Okay. I already said it multiple times, but changing clothes. That's a really big one for me. I'll get home from a show or what have you, or just even the act of stripping your clothes off completely and bringing it back down to being naked. Just walk around your house naked a little bit, if you can, or your room or your bathroom. Just be naked.
And twerk a little bit.
And yeah,
just be careful nothing falls out. That's all.
Just twerk. Washing your hands after emotional conversations, not because it's dirty, but because you're completing that cycle and allowing the energy to wash away. pause before opening any texts, or pause and with intention close down an app and say that circle is done. I'm taking that drip away. And even before you even start these practices, going through your life and thinking about, kind of zooming out a little bit, going through your everyday life and thinking about how many places do you leak energy? Are you dripping energy?
Like, for example, digital life is, I have a note here that says that digital life is the absolute most leaky place. That's where we leak the most.
Yeah.
Statistically, that's where we leak.
Well, it makes
the most.
complete sense.
Because we have a constant IV drip. Think about
Yes.
it. Oh my gosh. That's what
Doesn't
it
that
is.
feel icky?
Our phones and our social media is a constant IV drip.
And in the news
But do you know what sucks about it? Some of us are operating from places where we have jobs and causes and things like that where we need to interact.
Absolutely.
We need to go to that party that everybody's at. There's always just that drunk handsy guy in the corner, man.
Oh,
God.
yeah. Nobody likes it.
Nobody. Who invited
Who invited? You took it out of my mouth. Who invited that guy?
Somebody poisoned his drink. Just kidding.
No. Oh God. Take the long way to the car. As weird as it sounds, right? Park a little bit further away from the door.
Just make sure you're under a street light and you have your keys
And
between your
allow
fingers.
yourself to decompress during that moment of taking the long way to the car. Take the long way home. Or take the long way home. Take a way that you've never taken before.
I love that.
And just be present to, I've never been down this neighborhood. Like, that's a really cute house. Like,
Yeah.
just be in your environment while you're creating your inner environment.
Yep. Be present.
Open.
Not responsible. I'm here to be present, not responsible.
There you. Ooh. Before you get into a conversation.
I'm here to be present, not responsible.
I love that.
I have to have it tattooed on my face, but backwards, so I can read it in the mirror.
Okay.
So if you-
on your lip, on your
Yeah.
forehead,
On my
underneath your
forehead.
eyelid.
On my
Where's it going?
under your eye.
Are we doing the Post Malone? Are we doing,
Just on the side
whatever,
of the neck.
whatever,
Look at that.
whatever. Hey,
That's right.
Whatever you want, girl. Whatever you want. Eating slowly when you feel drained. How many times do we watch a show? I'm very guilty of watching Jeopardy when I eat dinner with my fiance. Love me some motherfucking Jeopardy. But when is the last time that
That's
we
a
turned off the
charming
Jeopardy?
thing.
I love Jeopardy so much. When is the last time that I turned off and we just sat here and talked about our day and we're present with each other?
With your husband that you're going to marry?
Yeah, that guy.
You're going to just talk
That fiance
to him?
guy.
You're just going
I'm
to
just
talk
gonna
to him?
be present with him.
Oh my God.
And enjoy the
What
food.
are the odds?
And also, like, look at the food while you eat it. Look at the colors. Look at the texture. Feel it replenishing you. Because food is fuel. Food is sustenance. It's not just.
You also might find out in that moment whether or not you're a good cook.
That. Or maybe you need a little bit more salt.
I was going to say this time.
Oh, this tastes like shit. Well, whatever. I've been consuming shit all day. Might as well,
Let's turn on Jeopardy about
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And then I won't taste it anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh.
seriously, right?
Yeah.
I'm allowing myself to be distracted mentally so that my physical doesn't get the time and energy that it deserves. Download right there. Diggity download.
Anybody feeling that? I feel it.
Open a window after guests leave.
Oh.
Have you ever thought about doing that?
Well, I don't do it at home, but I will say that when I leave my studio, I have a little bell that hangs on my door. So when I open the door, it does a little jingle.
I love that.
And every time I open the door, I think about like, okay, time to go. Like cookies are done. Like I think about that.
Ding, fries are done. Ding, fries are done.
And like and it's not because I want a client. So anybody of my clients listening, it's not because I want you to leave or anything like that. It's just to like reset the energy in the room so that the next person coming in, they're coming in with their energy and my energy is cleared and reset for that situation.
100%.
Yeah.
I actually, with intention, not only because it's badass and I really enjoy it, my new puppy, Zola Opal, I bell trained her.
Okay.
I bell trained her with my witch bells. They are hanging on our patio. Hold on. Patio door. Right here. Are you ready? Love that noise.
Oh,
love that noise.
Now she's
hey Zozo.
She's like, what's that mean?
Not only are we going potty?
I didn't ring in that.
Not only it wasn't me. Mommy banging on the counter. It wasn't me. When we trained with those bells, not only was it to allow her to let us know that she had to go out, but I knew with intention that every time she did ring those bells, that it was going to clear the energy.
Good.
So clearing bells, allowing movement and sound to clear your energy as well.
And then to know too that when she comes back in, she don't got no demons on her.
She ain't got no. I already said this one, but touching your chest when you feel overwhelmed.
Yes, I have to say,
Feel your heartbeat and just sink into your heartbeat for 5 seconds, 10
when
seconds.
my feelings, one of the things I've been teaching my teenagers is when their feelings get really, really big, to have it be that, what part of your body are you feeling?
I ask that all the time.
I think that's amazing. And I think it's just such an important piece where if you can just stop and go, okay, where does this feel in my body? Like I might even, like if I'm having big feels and I'm alone in my car and I'm like struggling with emotions, maybe crying a little bit, I might put my hand on my chest and go, it's in my stomach. It's in my stomach. It feels like I want it out of my stomach. Like it feels like, and I gives a little bit of form to those feelings so that I can acknowledge and that my stomach hears me talking.
Because the awareness isn't weak. Awareness equals action.
Absolutely.
Or even if you want to sit with it, just the awareness of sitting with it and knowing that it's there can change the trajectory.
Yep.
Cleaning one small surface with care.
Yep.
Cleaning out that energy. Choosing one no per day.
I'm sorry. Let me go back to the cleaning.
Back to cleaning.
Use moon water. That could be the intention.
Moon spray.
So so what I do is I keep if I have facial toner, I'll rinse out the bottle really good, and then afterwards I will make moon water and I'll pour it into that, and every time I clean my altar, reset my altar, I spray moon water on that. Every time I might even bring some in the car and spray my body and my face with it just to let the moon fall on me. But even cleaning with moon water is such an important, that's just a small thing you can do. To make moon water, all you do is you just get water in a glass would be ideal, and then put it outside when it's a full moon. And then next morning or near open
or a
window,
new moon or a quarter moon, whatever moon.
Yeah, whatever moon. You just put it outside, leave it overnight or a couple hours or whatever. I left my beautiful mason jar that I keep for moon water, a large mason jar, and I put it out and I forgot about it and it shattered.
Shit.
I know, but it's
welcome to Minnesota magic, baby.
But make no mistake, when it starts melting, I'm gonna go out and harvest that moon water real quick. I'm not gonna drink it or anything, but I'll clean with it and things like that, and that's very powerful. So that's what I have to say about cleaning.
Bring it. Like I said, choosing one no per day, because I think the thing we forget, or that I had forgotten about what energetic hygiene can do for you, is it creates space for you to have easier focus and less trucks and less leakage, and stronger boundaries.
Yep.
And the effects of you continuing and putting more energetic hygiene into your life in this small, sneaky, sexy, sultry way, secret rituals, whatever you want to do to yourself, is that it's going to create an energy that people are going to notice is different about you as well. They're going to project less onto you. They're going to shit on you less.
Yes.
They're going to respect your time and energy more. And that's just other people reacting to you. Like the effects of you doing this for yourself.
Yes.
You're going to have fewer mind gymnastics, fewer distractions. You're going to have more focus, deeper sleep, less stress.
All of that.
A louder intuition. You stay in your own lane. And I just want to say this baseline, this neutrality. We're all looking to be back into this neutrality. So we can go into difficult situations, hard, intimate conversations. We can make big decisions and get ourselves back to regular.
Yep.
Back to the rhythm, our own rhythm. So you may have to rewind your rhythm.
Yep.
And be very, very intentional with that rhythm and create an inner environment that is conducive to you coming back to you. Because I feel like we're all disconnected from ourselves. So how can we get back to us more effectively, more efficiently, more enjoyably, is by adding energetic hygiene practices into your everyday rituals and everyday life that you're already doing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It sounds so simple. And so
doesn't
effective.
it though? But we forget about it. Because sometimes we forget about the simple because it is so simple.
Yep. It's true. There was a quiz that we took. How do you feel that would, do you want to, can we post that somewhere?
Absolutely. I'm actually going to make a carousel about it.
Okay.
So we can decide where might I immediately need more energetic hygiene in this moment that I'm reading this. Where do I get to give myself permission to start a more intense and intentional energetic hygiene practice?
I thought it was really cool because it gave us the idea of there was if it was answer A, B, C, or D, and then it was like if you have all A's, then you need this. If you have all B's, then you need this. If you have the most C's, you need this. And that was so cool for me to think. And I had to laugh because both of us, I have our notes on here. We both needed a full reset.
Yeah,
I feel like we all need basically just a full reset.
I mean,
but it was very cool to recognize that there's different kinds of resets, energetic resets, and that how this concept can actually speak to all of those things.
For sure.
And to be able to do a full reset if you need to, like every day or once a week or however many times you're doing it.
So challenge, dear listener, before we let you go, because our hour is almost up. And thank you so much for being here. Before we dive into your challenge, I would love to say thank you. I know I say it a lot on this podcast, and I don't think I say it enough. Gratitude for those of you that support and subscribe. And if you feel like there is someone in your life that deserves to hear about this, share it with them. Be like, hey, this is something that maybe we need to do together, or accept this challenge together, right? Like, what are ways that you work on your energetic hygiene, or what ways kind of hit you while listening to this episode, and what do you want to start bringing into your everyday life? Yeah. Let us know. We'll hold you accountable, because I'm holding myself accountable. I started doing energetic hygiene since we started looking into these notes, and you brought that question up to me, like, what is energetic hygiene? I was like, what the fuck is energetic hygiene? Because I had forgotten.
Me too.
I had forgotten the simple, intentional, powerful ways that I can bring myself back to me.
Yeah.
And I can regulate and stop the distraction and stop the dissociation and
also aligning yourself with the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Or aligning yourself with things that are outside of us.
Absolutely.
Right now, there's so much of that happening. I think that we're all aligning ourselves with these outward, external places. And I think if we can get back to what's sovereign and true, then we can enter those spaces with intention, with calmness, and then we become more of a force within those external places.
Absolutely.
When we step in.
With more empathy and compassion without being consumed.
Right.
Because whether or not you know it, dear listener, when you scroll in those holes, you are not consuming. You're being consumed. You are the product.
And that is the most of it. And that energy that's being siphoned from you every time you scroll, that's what they want.
Absolutely.
Them.
The powers those
that
peeps.
That's what they want. Is they want our energy, our focus, and they want us to forget who we are
as a whole. So what if, dear listeners, we challenge each other with love to bring it back to what we know to be true, which is ourselves.
That's right.
And that work is difficult. It's challenging, especially when you've been unplugged for so long, but plug back into you, boo. You deserve it. Yeah. You deserve it, and you get to give yourself permission. The world deserves it. Absolutely.
We all deserve it.
That's what change happens.
We can't help anyone. We can't help our kids grow. We can't help our
communities grow and thrive.
We can't stand up for what we need to believe in without bringing ourselves fully to that process.
Yeah. We are as a whole, I truly feel misaligned.
Yeah.
And we as humans, as individuals, have a responsibility to regulate and bring ourselves back to alignment. And if we, as a rebellion, do that for ourselves, and then start to hang around with the badass motherfuckers that are doing it for themselves too, imagine that boomerang, imagine that vibration and frequency. So let's get to cleaning, let's get to clearing, let's get to closing those loops, and let's get to being full of compassion and stop being consumed.
And and one other last thing I wanted to say too is join us for the next, join us for all the podcasts. Please join us for all of them. But we're going to be talking next time that you and I get together. We're going to be talking with a guest who knows a lot about frequency and a different kind of things.
And we'll go even deeper into energy.
Yeah. And we're going to go really deep into this whole energetic reset and how that can be done, how you can support yourself as you go through it. Because sometimes we might be like, oh my God, my house is just full. I'm hoarded big time. My house, meaning your soul, your mind,
your everything, your
You're
energy.
like, I got so much shit hoarding in there. I don't know what's even real anymore. That's when getting some help matters. Accountability, practice, help, all of those things are a big piece of it. So I'm excited to talk about that with you.
1,000%.
I'm actually headed to go see her right now after this.
Good. That's fantastic. Good. Fantastic. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and misters, challenge. If you would like to accept the challenge, reach out to us. You can reach out to us on DMs. I prefer emails because I check emails more than I check social media because I'm trying to pull myself out of the scroll hole. And if you want to accept the challenge, I would love for you to, between this What the Fuck episode and the one that we have our guest Rachel, just work on it work on it just a little bit each day. Try to add something different into your routine. Try to clean and clear and close those loops for nobody but yourself, because you deserve it. And that is showing yourself trust and respect and worthiness and sweet sister, soul, Mr. Witch Wizard. You deserve that and everything else.
You sure do.
So with that being said, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of the Magic is Messy collective. We've got a lot of cool shit happening. We've got the 1 year witch coven. We've got the 1 week witch coven if you're coven curious. We've got some full moon Zoom booms. We've got all this and everything rocking and rolling for you to plug in, or just accept the challenge, reach out and say, challenge accepted.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
And that's
enough right now.
I love
That's
it.
enough.
Let's seal this intention with a little bit of clickety-clackety.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And go. Ladies and gentlemen, have a beautiful day. We are so grateful to be on these airwaves, and we will see you next time.